It's Linda MacPhee's workshop. Here's Linda.
And I'm busy playing that music. It keeps me busy getting all that music going and getting the show going. But I love playing, and I love sewing, and I love creating. Today's show, we've got all those things. We've got toddler fashions, and I think it's wonderful to sew for the little guys. We've got the Husqvarna Viking people here, and they always do creative kind of stuff. And then we're going to also show you how to shorten a zipper, because there's so many people that drive for miles and miles to find the right zipper when they could be shortening them. So we're going to show you how to do that. But joining me to help me is my friend Joan. So it's good to have you back, Joan.
Thank you, Linda. I'm glad to be back.
Good, and you know about baby clothes.
Oh, I do.
Because you've had this thing going with your niece. I thought
She's now 7, outfit of the month, 7 times 12.
Outfit of the month. Can you believe anybody that would dream this up? And you,
no, I can't.
You said that you'd make her an outfit every month. And send it to her. She's not even in the same city.
No, it goes to her by truck or by bus,
yeah.
And she loves to go because she gets to show her ID.
Okay, and that's really, I shouldn't say that she's not your favorite niece, but that's because you really don't have your own grandchildren.
That's right.
But now
soon
you're going to have your grandchild, so now this can all be...
Yes,
yeah.
I can start again.
Yeah.
And I can get all of those back that I started with.
Yes.
But little girls' things are so much fun.
Well, little girls are fun. So this is what we started out with. We decided to make the little dress. And this was one of your ideas originally, was the little dress. And your suggestion on this one was that you're going to line the top of this dress anyway.
That's right.
So you might as well make it reversible. Which
well,
I think
because they often spill.
Yeah.
And into the washroom you can go.
So let's just flip this.
And out they come.
So here is
for Grandma.
And I think the important part about this is that you would make one longer. If you try to make them the same length, it's not going to happen.
Right.
So make one longer. And this covers the hem of this.
That's right.
So it looks sort of like a pinafore that way. And then, of course, the applique, which is kind of a fun thing to do. So,
and then it takes off.
Well, once you've got applique on the dress, you could have applique on the jacket to match. And so that, I think, is the fun part about sewing for kids.
You can go whatever little scrap you have, you can just keep on going.
And the coordinate, I mean, mother. Could we have mother-daughter?
You can.
You
can do 9 outfits with 4 pieces of fabric.
Have you done something? Tell me more.
Well, you can do the top and the skirt different, and then you can do the other side.
Oh, I see 9 coordinates of this. Oh, I thought you meant for 9 kids. I thought, what's going on?
No. Well, if you had 9 kids, they could all be dressed
In fact, that's what you said one time that you did when you went out to a festival or carnival or something. You matched.
We had 7 little ones, and we dressed them all in the same colors. We actually started in the morning to make them hoodies, and we had them all in hoodies and
of the same color.
Yes.
Yeah, and then you didn't
worry about them. No. They weren't too impressed that we had them all dressed the same, but we were quite impressed.
Okay, so we're talking about applique and coordinates. So we've got the jacket, and again, this is our world's easiest parka. And if you haven't done the world's easiest parka, this is it. It is center back on the fold. There is front, back, and hood.
All in one piece.
All in one piece. I love that. So when you're going to make it, you're then going to sew your shoulder like that. And then this will pivot down, and that does actually fit.
Becomes
I just
the
cut it out.
front part of your hood.
And there's your shoulder, and there's your hood. So that's your seam there and there, there and there. Then you're going to put your zipper in and sew up the top of the hood, and we're talking done.
And sleeves?
And sleeves. Sorry.
Well,
actually,
it could be a vest.
Could be a vest.
Very easily.
But there's your sleeve. So that goes together really very simply. So that's a wonderful little pattern for kids and doing things quickly. So what you're going to do is you're going to make 2 coats, put right sides together. Actually, we've got another one that we'll show you on that one. But let's do the little hat, because I think the hat is a real fun thing for kids, and we should be watching to keep
the sun out?
Yeah.
Even though it's bright yellow?
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yes, that's okay.
The sunshine.
But it's reversible.
True.
So you can do it whichever way.
You could do it either way with the dress.
Yes. Okay, so let's make this little hat. And what it is, it's a pattern like this, which is the wedge. So we've got 6 of them put together. You can serge those if you want. You can just straight stitch them because they're all inside. We've done 2 hats so that you've actually got one on this side, one on this side. Put them wrong sides together. Then there's your band, and then there's your ruffle.
Okay, so here's our band.
There's your band.
And the ruffle.
Theoretically, you could do 2 ruffles because you've got one of each color, but that's a little thick.
Right.
That was going to be another ruffle, but we said, I don't think so.
So this would be folded in half, so we'd have the thickness of 4.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you'd then put all that, but 1 is thick enough. So then we're going to put the band on that. So if you look at this, here we've got band.
So we've pleated or ruffled this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Band on here. Then let's flip that up, and we've got... That is going to fit onto there. So we'll put right sides together with that. Don't sew both seams.
Okay.
Because that's going to be kind of messy. So sew the one seam like this. And I'll just take that and pin that. And then this side can come over and cover that.
But you sewed that first.
Yes, you've sewn that first.
Okay.
And then this one could be top stitched or hand stitched. So that'll finish it off nicely. So you've got
a reversible hat.
Reversible hat and reversible this way. So
perfect.
So it is kind of a neat idea.
Of course,
we didn't talk about the
umbrella.
Speaking of getting carried away with applique and carried away with things matching, I don't know how practical that is, but it's just quite fun. So
they like to bring them to school, though. On a rainy day, it's fun to see them all out there with their umbrellas, standing and hoping for the rain.
Sure, or sun, whichever way. Yeah,
and
again, speaking of coordinating, I mean that coordinates with this, coordinates with your own outfit, coordinates. We're not a bad coordinator ourselves.
We're doing pretty good on this, aren't we?
We're a bit obsessed about this coordinating thing, so that's good. I didn't like your comment about mother and daughter, though.
Well, all right, sisters.
Okay, all right. What we did was we made a pleather jacket, because I think the other issue is do you make things for little boys, and do they match fathers, or do you make little girls, or whatever? So we thought father could have daughter matching.
That's right. Or son. They like animal print,
Well, that's true. This is so cute that it maybe... Isn't it sad how I say cute things have to be in girls, and boys have to have sort of plain, but that's sort of the way our species works. It's kind of...
It is.
Kind of the way.
But I don't think my boys knew you could buy a coat until they were probably about 16.
Yes, because you made them. Yeah.
So
this is that same little parka pattern.
Okay.
And so all that we did was cut it out of the pleather. This is kind of an easy technique for a pocket, because you're going to cut the whole pocket out of the fleece, put the pleather right on top of it, and then sew it on. So it kind of makes,
gives you the trim.
Gives you the trim, lets it hang out, looks kind of cute. So basically that's it. You're going to put the zipper.
You taught me something, I don't want to say too many years ago, but I always remember it. You said right side of the fabric to the right side of the zipper, raw edge of the fabric to the raw edge of the zipper.
Which is absolutely right.
And I have never, ever not had a zipper go in properly.
They are so simple and so fast and so good looking.
They do.
You don't want this to look like you made it. You want it to look simple. So that is going to go in there. We're going to then make the same coat, reversible little pockets.
Right.
And then this is going to go right sides together.
All the way around?
Up. All the way up around your hood, around down that other side. And then we're going to hem them separately, because if you try to put them together, you're going to end up... We'll pull this through and hem it to the sleeve, so that'll roll back. And on kids' things, that's a great way.
Perfect.
Okay, our kids are going to be well-dressed.
And very quickly.
Okay, I think we did it. All right, thank you, Joan.
Thank you.
And don't go away, because we've got some exciting stuff coming up. I love textiles, and I love the fun that I can have creating things. Obviously, it's fun to wear them on your body, but there's so many other places that you can do some wonderful things. So joining me to help me with this is my friend Linda, and you eat and sleep this, don't you?
I sort of do, yeah.
Well, that's how you got to have a shop.
That's right.
You're the Rumpled Quiltskins, and we've shown some of your things before. It's wonderful. So this is now sort of bringing it... You've worn it on your body, you've got it on quilts, but now there's lots of other things that you've done.
When people are creative, they like to be creative in many different ways and not just stick to one medium.
Oh, I would absolutely agree. So the welcome sign to begin with is just beautiful. I mean, I think that's just a wonderful thing to have up in your house. And
this is a good way to invite people to your home and to set the tone for what they're going to see in the rest of the house.
Yes, when they start out with this, then yes, you do, and you have followed through, because look at the pillowcases. I mean, that is rather special. And
they're very easy. These are pre-made. They come from a general store.
A pillowcase maker.
Pillowcases, yes.
Yeah.
And we can embellish them quickly and make them as gifts or make them for ourselves to use.
Yeah, and I think it is so special because they are so hand-done, but yet not laboriously. They're
not time-consuming
either. Yeah, that's great. So this is all the pillowcases. Then we can go across to the placemats, and you've been working on the color. Well, of course, the other joy of this is that you can color coordinate with your dishes or with whatever.
That's right.
You've got placemats for sure, with the serviettes, which I think is such a nice little touch.
It's nice to have washable serviettes.
Yes, yeah, and cloth ones for a nice change.
That's right.
And they all coordinate. you know.
It makes your guests feel more special.
Yeah. You were saying there's some things that you make that are not touchable. I mean, these are very usable.
That's right, they are.
But
other things like the hat box are there to give you ambiance, but not necessarily to be played with or touched.
Yeah, or to use. It just kind of adds to the whole thing. And then the other sort of runner table center that coordinates with all that. How do you know how much fabric when you start with something like this?
You buy a bolt of everything, Linda.
I like that. That sounds like about right for sure. So you've done on the lampshade. And so you can take whatever theme that you're on and you can just keep going and going.
This lampshade is really easy. It's just embroidered like many of our other pieces with a bit of embroidered lace added to it.
Embroidered right through the whole stiffness of this thing?
This is a plastic lampshade. Don't tell anybody.
Okay. And then you've pulled that on top? Is that how this works?
We just glue it on top and glue the braid down the side, so it makes it very easy for you to look good really quick without having much ability.
I think I like the sound of that. Yes. What is this that you've got here?
This is just a little runner that you could put over top of a side shelf and put a matching cup and saucer on. Just again to add a bit of color where there might not be any on your wall or on your table.
Right, I do like the way you've used that metallic thread. Just sparkles it up, and often you put jewels and things. Oh, that's what this one would be. Let's see this. This is amazing. So there's your metallic threads, which work so beautifully. And is there a story behind this, or is there...
Actually, there should be a story, shouldn't there? But there is no story because sometimes things just happen. You hoop the fabric and you just start from one end and you end up with something that you didn't expect. And that's the fun thing about creativity. It's not always planned.
Okay, yes, and there could be a story. I mean, you could start with this and then make a story.
That's right. That's right.
And I think this would be great in a granddaughter's room or something. And you could sign it, of course, with your signature.
This would be great for a wedding, for a little bridesmaid gift or a flower girl gift or something like that as remembrance. And you could put the wedding couple's name at the top.
I love that. I think that's so special when you put the date or the couple's name or the child's name or the birth date or whatever, something like that. So no, that is quite magnificent. So then we have got, this is just an outstanding piece. And this, I've been told, is that you wrote the story.
My daughter and I wrote this story. We started out with a basic pattern for applique, and it's a cutout pattern. And it just seemed like each of the outfits in the pattern were saying something, so we wrote the words down and we embroidered it. We embellished with decorative stitches from the machine, so whatever stitches your machine has, just use them all, stitch them all out. And then we've added some crystals and some stars.
This would be a great mother-daughter project, I'm sure.
It would be a great granddaughter project as well.
True. Is your daughter interested in sewing?
She is, yeah. She does sew. She quilts a little bit.
Oh, good. And how old is she?
She's 24.
Oh, good. You must have had her very, very young.
Oh, before I was born,
yes. Yes, exactly. So this carries on. I think you've done such wonderful use of stitches, and you're just a master at this with your quilting and with all the things, is instead of using a regular applique stitch, which is just the old satin stitch, which is that, you've added the decorative ones, and I think they just add so much to this whole thing.
Our machines have so many stitches, and there is many places for each of those stitches to be used.
Yes.
But you get more texture when you use the
You were the one that said one time that you should make a catalog of all your stitches, and I thought that was an excellent idea, because they don't look the same when they're not done up.
That's right.
When you see them in thread, all of a sudden you think...
And when you can actually touch them,
yes,
you get a feel for them, not just an appearance.
Yeah. So this book, it goes right through. And now you've even learned how to bind this. You did the binding.
That's right, yeah. And this was a class that we offer at our store as well.
Wow. And I mean, is that special or what? So yeah, this book is just a treasure for whoever is going to get this. And this should be handed down. And this will probably outlive all of us, wouldn't it?
Unfortunately, I bet it will.
It probably will, yeah. These are kind of neat. So here we have more.
The fun thing about red work is that there's not much work to it, not much thread. It goes through really quick. These can all be done. When you say
red work, what does red work mean? You just
red
use
work
red
is
thread?
a technique. You could use red thread, but it's an outline technique. It's not filled embroidery.
Oh, okay.
So we do it on the embroidery machine, but this whole set of 7 towels is done in about 3 hours. The whole set is embroidered, so it's again, a great wedding gift.
Yeah.
Or a gift for a grandmother, or just to use at home. You don't have to be shy about using it.
Yeah, I like that idea. We have that other, whatever you call it thing. What is this?
This is called a tuffet. Yeah, so this is lots of fun. This is, again, another class that we offered at our store. And the tuffet has embroidery on the top of it, which we hoop. And then we just pull it over regular plywood. These are 2 pieces of 21-inch plywood cut. We can lift the skirt of this.
Okay, yes. So there is a piece of plywood under there.
It's actually a double piece of plywood with 4 legs attached to it and the Dickens stapled on.
And you buy these things and you just screw them in.
You just get those at the local hardware store.
Yeah. And then pull it over and make the
Now this one has some foam on it, so when you put your feet up on it, it's extra cushiony.
Okay, so when you said tuffet, that's sort of like Miss Muffet, you mean?
It is,
and
yes.
you could sit on this, or you could put your feet on this.
On here.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great thing. And of course, if that could coordinate with your decor, your whole scheme.
That's the whole idea. You want to have everything coordinating and then pack it away and get out the next color for the next season.
Yes, yes. Well, you could have detachable ones.
That's
you
right.
Could pull,
you could Velcro this little trim around it and reuse it.
You really could.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll just put that one down. I think there's one more. I mean, there's no end.
We like to do
this
framed
game.
work because when you sew, if you have to quilt it, that's a bit more time consuming. And so the framed work means there's no quilting, but it still is something that you can easily display. And this is a cross stitch, which is part of the software that we use. And it has many different kinds of stitches on, identical to hand stitches. So there are little French knots in here. There's long extension stitches. There's outline stitches, full crosses, half crosses. And usually people that hand cross stitch don't know that this is done by machine.
I would say this, and I've judged a lot of cross stitching in my day at different fairs and things.
What do you think?
It'd be pretty tough to sort of say one. You know, certainly one is not better than the other. They're different, but they're just
they
gorgeous.
are different, but still, both of them are beautiful. I think just this is much faster than handwork, and we all do handwork also.
Yes, yeah. Oh, there's a lot, and there's a lot of. I love the creativity that goes into this whole thing. It's just being able to dream it and being able to make it. That's what's important, I think.
That's the big thing. Whatever you think about, you know that you can create it with a sewing machine.
Thanks you for joining us. This is
thank
great.
you, Linda.
Great, and I hope we've inspired you again on some more creative things to do. We're going to come back with the zipper business. So we'll show you how to shorten a zipper. So don't go away. I'm back to show you zippers because zippers are near and dear to my heart. I use so many of them. And I've got a helper. And my helper is Beverly. Welcome to the show.
Well, thanks for having me.
And Beverly is one of our new employees. She has just graduated from one of the colleges and just fresh, hot, ready to wear. It's wonderful. So you've put in a lot of zippers since you've been with us.
Oh, I don't think I've put in as many zippers
like
as
you didn't even
past while.
Yeah, you didn't even realize. But
yes.
you understand why we use so many zippers because it's so neat, so tidy, so efficient, so everything.
And you can use so many different zippers for your garment to match.
Yes, you've got that right. And zippers are a great look right now.
Yes.
So okay, but the dilemma sometimes is that we don't have the right length of zipper for the job.
Yes.
You know that. So I just wanted to point out, because sometimes people cheat, and if this is a bomber jacket, you have to have, there's the ribbing or the elastic in the bottom, you have to have the zipper starting right there. And it has to come up right into the collar because that makes such a nice look. And it has to stop right there. Like you can't fudge it. You can't stop that there because that's not going to look good.
No.
And you can't start it halfway up because that's going to look. The whole object in my books is to make it look like you didn't make it.
Yes.
And if you've done that, it's a dead giveaway. Like people think, ugh. So that's the first rule about zippers. And I think the one that we're going to be doing today is actually a blazer.
Yes, it
and
is.
I don't usually say put the zipper into the collar. I mean,
No.
you could, but this is a
You
dressier.
don't have to.
Yeah, dressier look. So we want to start right at the bottom. We want to go right to the top. And if you've got a zipper that length, good. But if not, we're going to have to do it. Sometimes, and this is something that you'll probably learn over the years, I actually make a garment to fit my zipper.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because that's a simple way to go. I mean,
I guess so.
Within half an inch or so, if your zipper, get the zipper first and then cut the garment to that length, and then we know that it's always going to fit.
Yes, good idea.
Actually, easier to you know how to do this really well. So let's talk about this.
So I think it's easier to put in one side of the zipper first.
Sure it is.
When you want to shorten, because that way you know how long the zipper has to be.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
So just stop your stitching a little lower than your seam allowance, so you have room to
you've stopped it.
Turn under your zipper tape there. Yeah.
And you've allowed at the bottom for your
hem. Yes.
And I think we have had controversies about whether the zipper should go down to this part or to this part. And
you can do it either way, whatever you like.
I think I'm quite happy with it stopping just right there. So,
yes.
All right. So now you know where it needs to be shortened.
Yeah. So you just find out where your seam allowance will be and cut off a couple teeth below that so you can put your zipper stop.
Yes. Okay.
So we're just going to snip some teeth off here.
Okay. So we're going to say which ones now? About, that one and that one probably?
Yeah. That's what I'm thinking. So I'm just going to cut these
Okay,
off.
so I know. And you need your own pliers. That's the first thing that you got to do on this game, is that don't go hunting around the husband's workshop for pliers because, well, you might find your scissors out there. That's the one trick you might do. But I think you better get your own set of pliers.
Yes, so I just cut off some teeth there. And then you just want to stick on the zipper stop.
And really, by cutting off those teeth, you've made a nice, neat edge. We trim this. I mean, we can just cut that right off. I mean, that's history. And actually, it's not really history. You could use that on a pocket zipper.
Yes, you
can. You could get another zipper
Reuse.
pull, and you can. Yeah.
So this is the zipper stop. It's a tiny little...
So, yeah, that is just a really tiny little C-clamp kind of a thing that's going to go right over the top. So,
so you just...
put that
right on there and clamp it on. So now you have a zipper stop.
Okay, and now we can just take our scissors and cut that off. So how are we going to do the other side?
So now you want to zip up your zipper to find out how long the other side has to be.
And that's a joyful way, because otherwise you'd have to count all those teeth. Or there might be somebody... Actually, this is a two-way zipper, and I might even explain that they're a little trickier to do up, but I love a two-way zipper.
Yes.
In something like a blazer that's long, because when you sit down, you can undo it.
Yes, which is always good.
Yeah.
So there you go.
So we can't get that up any farther, but we can sort of see, okay, now that's what has to come off on that side is right there. So that will be those two right there.
Yes.
And we'll put the little hook at the top, stopper at the top, and then that's
put it in and you're done.
Yeah, zippers are great, and
They are.
So let me show you. I know you love this.
You have some other tricks up your
You
sleeve.
love this trick.
Yes, I do.
Yeah, and this is the kind of time is when you can't decide what zipper you want to put in. And as long as you're using the same zippers, you could take and put a black zipper in one side and a yellow zipper in the other side. So not in this particular jacket for sure, but in a jacket that's kind of fun, you could just change.
Kids' jackets especially.
Yes, you don't
Makes
buy
so much
clothes
fun.
that have two different colors of zippers, and I think that's just kind of a neat idea. So you have to buy twice as many zippers, but I sell zippers, so that's not all that.
You still have two zippers.
You still have two zippers, and you find another use for the other half. So
what if you want something a little more fancy, an evening garment?
People think you can't put zippers in an evening garment. They think, no, it doesn't work. So here we go.
Oh, wow.
So this is one of my favorite. And it actually is Swarovski crystal, and you can get the different lengths that you want. And there's nothing a little more elegant than a zipper like this. This could go in a skirt, in a jacket, in whatever. That separates the zippers from the zippers.
Wow.
Anyway, the other thing that I thought we should do today is you are always around the workshop, and we're always getting emails from people. And it's neat, because remember when the letters come in, and some of the neat ones, I call everybody in and say, hey, look at this. So this is one letter that came in. And it's from Eva Bartons in Surrey, BC. And she sent a picture, so we're actually going to show the picture. And it says, it started at the sewing show, saw the jacket and loved it. And I do so many shows, so I meet so many people.
Yeah.
My first one went to my granddaughter for her birthday. The other grandchildren saw it, and of course they wanted one. 5 jackets later, my children asked for their jackets. 3 more were made. 2 more for the sons-in-laws and 2 for the in-laws. A request for a raffle prize. Wouldn't you know, my husband wanted one too. 14 in total.
Oh, gee.
So
that's amazing.
This woman, this is what happens. And there's the picture. We just saw the picture. And it was all the Canadian maple leaves on all these jackets. And I just think, isn't that a fun gift? Well, it's a fun gift for her to do. And it's just a fun thing for the people that received it.
Yes,
Everybody is
happy.
In fact, have you done that pattern? It's the one called No Sweat.
Yes.
Yeah, that is, and we call it No Sweat for a really good reason, because it really does go together quickly.
It's a good one.
So this thing is contagious. Once you start sewing, you're going to be sewing all the time. I'd love you to write me and tell me what you hear about and what you want to do, and what you've done. Send me pictures, the whole business. I'd love to hear from you, so do that. But we're out of time, so we've got to go. So thanks, Bev, for being here.
Thank you.
We'll see you next time on Linda MacPhee's Workshop.
To receive the companion book for this series, send $19.98 to the address on your screen or call 1-888-MacPhee.